Hello, today we're going over a Bible timeline. For when someone's a timeline of when, at least according to Bible Hub, they think a certain events took place. Now, for thing, Inspiring Philosophy has a series about different events in Genesis. Oh yeah, is it David Harris? It's like an Egyptologist guy. Yeah, and if you want to post your own links for or stuff in the comments to timelines, do feel free to do so. Maybe I will go over them sometime in the future. But right now, I'm going over this one. All dates are approximate. Before time. In the beginning was the word. That's literally John 1. Okay, then we have, well, the creation and all that stuff. The creation, Garden of Eden, fall of man, Cain kills Abel. All of the fallen man, before 4000 BC. Thanks for the Pacific. But before 3000 BC, Cain kills Abel. From Adam to Noah, oh yeah, Inspiring Philosophy also has a video about the flood. Anyway, then wickedness provokes God's wrath, great flood, before 2500 BC. Which technically, you can't say is wrong, because it says before. How many years before? It doesn't say. Some people will say, but the Great Pyramid of Giza was built before then. Yeah, whatever. Also, there's the whole thing of it may have been just a regional flood. Yeah. Also, no, it's not taken from Gilgamesh, the Legend of Gilgamesh, or the Epic of Gilgamesh. If you actually read the epic, all it mentions is the flood. That it happened, and that's it. Okay, anyway. Then it has something interesting. It says the book of Job wasn't written, first thing, but happened between the Table of Nations and the Tower of Babel. There is a debate if Job is just a big parable or it's literal, but that doesn't matter. Anyway, so in what it says, 291 BC, it says God sends Abram to Egypt. Now, if we look up that, it just takes us to the, 21st century. Yeah, the 21st century. Which, some events that happened. The first intermediate period of Egypt. The third dynasty of Ur. Epic poetry written. The Epic of Gilgamesh. Let's talk about that. 2 circle of blue stones that form the inner part of Stonehenge are erected. The burnt city is abandoned. Minoan civilization in Crete begins. Stranded culture emerges of the Egypt. Reagent step. The Great establishes the XIA, I'm not even going to try to pronounce it, dynasty. The Middle Crimea culture begins in Upper Nubia. Then the 11th dynasty, closer. Yeah. So, Inspiring Philosophy also has a video about Abraham, and yes, about what we know based on archaeological evidence. Abraham most likely existed. There is no reason I can think of for the Israelites to come up with a myth. It's always like, oh, they just did this, so why they own the land? And then they will say with the same breath that they were Canaanites, so if they were Canaanites and native to the land, why would they need to come up with a myth why they're better than their neighbors? That just doesn't make any sense. Anyway, then the famine happened a year later. Abraham and Lot part ways in 2085. God's covenant with Abraham, 281. Ishmael is born to 2080. Isaac is born 266. 226. Isaac marries Rebecca, and then literally 20 years later, 2006 BC, birth of Jacob and Esau. 1991 BC, the death of Abraham. Jacob marries Rachel. 1921 BC. Now remember, none of these are set in stone. Rachel dies in 1903. In 1906, Jacob named Israel. Joseph in prison. 1889 BC. Famine begins 1875. Same year that Joseph's brothers are sent to Egypt, obviously. 1859, Jacob's blessing and death. 1539 BC, Pharaoh ordered to kill the firstborn. Let's see. Come on. That would be the 17th, the end of the 17th dynasty and the beginning of the 18th. First use of the Valley Kings. First, oldest dated star chart was made in ancient Egypt. Oh, according to Wikipedia, though, this is not the year he died, but Joseph interprets the dreams of Pharaoh. See, so here's a counter to it. But would it be... Inspiring philosophy has evidence that it's earlier. Let's see, if you don't know who the 18th dynasty is, it's Amos, Hatshepsut, Thutmose is the third, Anotep, Tutankhamun, yeah, those guys. Which is, some people think is actually the day of the Exodus. Again, not really an inspired philosophy. Anyway, the birth of Moses in 1525 BC. The Exodus begins 1446 BC. Let's see. Oh wow, there's literally something. A biblical date to the Exodus. A response to who? James Hoffmeyer. That's where I begin. James Hoffmeyer from? Huh. So literally, Associates for Biblical Research has an entire thing. It says the 13th century model is incomprehensible with the narrative. Hoppermeyer believed that Hebrew slaves were involved in the construction of the new capital for Ramses II beginning in 1270 BC. Yes. So it's like he's disagreeing? Yes, he's definitely disagreeing. Has a bunch of sources and stuff. So yes, according to this one website. There, see? More research. You can go and see why some people think. Another one! Tutmos was the third, was the Pharaoh of Exodus. Bible. Okay. Can I get anything else but another one? Okay, just literally look up 1446 BC and you get loads of things if you want them. Why Tutmos the Third is apparently the Pharaoh of Exodus. Inspiring philosophy disagrees, and if you want to know why he disagrees, go look it up. And just because people can't agree on the date doesn't mean that didn't happen. There's a lot of things in the past that we can't agree on the date, and we're pretty sure happened. Anyway, yeah, the 1400s so thing happened. The wandering in the desert. Okay, Saul becomes king, 1043. Okay. So Mayadan, king of Athens, dies after a reign of 20 years and is succeeded by his son Acarus. Battle of Mui, King Wu of Zhao overthrows the Shang dynasty under King Dezhi and establishes the Zhao dynasty. Okay. Death of Shimades, first king of Egypt, Pharaoh. Begin of the rebellion of the guards in China. And then some sources, let's see, what are the sources? Caliph Rose Publishing Talmud, Parables and Other Bible Studies, Rose Publishing Inc. And this is the only thing with sources on this entire page. Wow. The Life of David, Rose Publishing Inc., and David, King of Israel. Proposed 1401 BC as the date of King David's birth. Yeah. Anyway, blah blah blah. David's protected from Saul, 1040. David slays Goliath, 1024. Now the thing with Goliath is Sunday schools always depict him as this like massive giant. The guy could have just been like 6 foot tall or something. I mean, Yeah, I think the world record was like 9 feet. But we might be translating cubits wrong, and he might have only just been really, really big. Like, massive muscles and things. Yeah. Solomon Samuel dies 11 BC. Okay, David reigns over all of Israel 1003 BC. No! What other things? Happened? Okay. What? Fine. Happened 1003 BC. Yeah. Okay, this is 1006. David becomes king of Israel, becomes king of the ancient United Kingdom of Israel. Traditional date. Earliest farming in Kenya. Okay, the Iron Age starts. Kingdom of Israel reaches its largest size, 10,000. Starts its golden age. And the source for this is Israel's Golden Age. Which is a book. You're not using this, are you? United Church of God. Oh, great, Wikipedia. Why are you using these? Anyway. Yeah, some other stuff like Hungarians, separatist revolts from its closest linguistic stuff. Rough carbon dating of the Chilean man? David. It's in China, so. Saul, king of Israel. David, king of the ancient Israelites. Solomon, also king of Israel. Zoroaster becomes a Iranian prophet. Huh. Okay, we continue onward. The ark brought to Jerusalem. 10,000. Okay, David, blah, blah, blah. Psalms of David, different Psalms. David, Absalom's conspiracy, 976. David's last song, 970. Solomon's building. Queen of Sheba. Bishop Solomon, 946. The kingdom is divided, 931. By the way, I'm going to be linking this into the description so you can look at it later. Other things that happened in the 930s. Yeah, see, Solomon died. Do you have a... Yeah. Then Ashur-dan, king of Syria. Zhao Guan Wang. I'm trying these Chinese names. Yeah, then Israel from basically 931 to I can't find it. Joshua orders the temple. Oh wait, no, I'm still Isaiah prophecies are still in here. Oh yeah, so 722 BC is when Israel was left into captivity. Yeah, when Israel was left into captivity. And this, oh, there is a lot. Like Sumerian uniform. In my first year of reign, the people of Samaria, numbering 27,290, I carried away 50 chariots for my royal equipment I selected. The city I rebuilt and made greater than it was before. The people of the lands I conquered, I settled therein. My official Tartan I placed over them as governor. Yes. So this is a well-documented thing of history. In International Standard Bible. Yeah, then there's Rechem, the Assyrian exile, Israel's legacy in captivity. Daniel David, really. That's a name. Ancient records of Assyria and Babylon. Yes, so this is a widely attested thing that Assyria came in and conquered the northern kingdom. So from 722 BC to when did Israel fall? When did Jerusalem fall? Let's see. Blah, 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 blah. Fall of Jerusalem. 586 BC. Another thing that we have ample historic evidence for is they came in and took over. We have Babylon coming in and taking over. Yeah. Also, we do have Hezekiah's resistance of Assyria. That's also kind of biblical proof. Then anyway, Daniel. When did Daniel take place? Well, I think I skipped over Daniel. Yeah, Daniel refuses the king portions. That's in 605. And the last of Daniel is in 559. So just a minute. 605 to 559. That's 609. What was it? 539. That's a period of 70 years. Yeah, someone could have been alive. Yeah. So yeah, Daniel was old when he was thrown into the lion's den. Anyway, the proclamation of Cyrus. If you want to go watch Mike Wiener's God's Great Countdown, he talks about how this starts off something. A great countdown. In 537 BC, the exiles return. Then, all the stuff we read about in Azariah, Nehemiah, Hezekiah. Esther. 483 BC. King Xerxes the First of Persia. Yes. It's encouraged by his cousin and brother-in-law, Montanus, to support by a strong party of exiled Greeks to take revenge on the defeated on for the defeat of Darius I suffered at the hands of the Greeks at Maranatha. And yeah, okay. And if you're thinking, is this what 6,000 is based on? Of? It can't. So King Xerxes the First of Persia. Bible Hub is identifying him of the guy in Esther. Guy in Esther. The yes. Queen Vashti? Oh yeah, but he's not called that. He's called Artresius. Artresius. Yes. Yes, and it is thought that it is Xerxes the First. Or some people think it's Artaxerxes from. Has McBainer done a thing about Esther? I think so. Someone has. The Septuagint refers to the king Artaxerxes. This king as Artaxerxes from. 405/4 BC to 358 BC. In the 19th and early 20th centuries, Bible commentators attempted to identify Vishya with queens of the Persians mentioned in history. Sources identify Arius with King Artaxerxes. Okay. Named Sterelia. Upon the discovery of equivalence of the names Arius and Xerxes, some Bible commentators began to identify Arius with King Xerxes the First, invested with his wife Armentis. Okay, so what do we know about her? Apparently some Greek historians, Histories 7, chapter 7, I suppose, page 114. I am informed that Artemis, wife of Xerxes, when she had grown old, made return for her own life to the god who is said to be beneath the earth by bearing twice 7 children of Persians who were men of renown. What? Yeah, the origin of this story is not clear since no records and accounts indicate human sacrifice were not permitted in the Persian religion. So that's what we got from Herodotus. Anyway, King Xerxes Yeah, he's guy from 300. Yeah. Doesn't really say anything more about him. Does it? Anything? No. Doesn't say who they think Esther might be. Persian kings did not marry outside 7 Persian noble families. Is that true? Well, what? Wife or concubine? Huh. And who says? Oh, that's interesting. Anyway, I'm pretty sure someone has done it. If you know who, please put it in the comments. I think this is going to be one of my longest videos yet. Okay, anyway. Going through Esther, then Nehemiah, then Malachi, the last stuff of the Old Testament. 430 BC. Now, Mike Weiner has made a video about how Bible and Daniel has predicted some of the events between then and now. Or the next. Yeah. 430 BC. Let's see. Sparta, looking for it. And Persia finally captured. Outbreak of the plague in Athens. Okay, a lot of stuff by Greece. Yes. Traditional date where scholars believe the Hebrew prophet known as Malachi writes the 39th and last book of the prophetical books of the Old Testament and of the biblical canon. Yes. Biblical books written between now and the millennium will not be included in the Hebrew Bible. Yes. And some of those books is when Judaism was still around and the Jews didn't think they belonged. Even Josephus said the Spirit left. Malachi is the end of the Old Testament. But Revelation, Josephus is wrong. Revelation stopped for a while. But 5 BC, birth of Jesus. Now you're wondering, 5 BC? Yeah, there's evidence and stuff that we might be off. So what we would need to do would be add 5 years to the current year, I do believe. Yeah. 20. So isn't that 20? No, 20, 22 plus 5, it would be 2027. I think you have to add 5 years. If you had to minus 2022 minus 5 years would be 2017. So do you want to live in 2027 or 2017? Are you glad with 2022? Anyway, escape from Egypt, 5 BC. 4 BC, return to Nazareth. John the Baptist prepares the way in 26 AD. 26 AD, the baptism of Jesus. And just in case you were wondering. Yes, This is, again, one of the widely attested things. But not in... Here's the thing. It's not 26 AD where most people say it happens. Oh, the Pontius Pilate appointed prefect of Judah. Huh. A lot of people would say it happened in 24 AD. But yes, this is one of the most attested to things. The Jesus baptism. The start of its ministry. So, if you're wondering what the order is, there's Luke 1, then John 1 verse 6, Luke 2, Matthew chapter 1, Mark chapter 1, Luke chapter 2 verse 6, and John chapter 1 verse 14. Then Matthew, it's all Matthew for the next stuff. Then Luke is the only one where Jesus as a boy in the temple. Yeah. Then the temptation of Jesus. Then Jesus calls his first disciples, the wedding of Caesarea, Cananea. Jesus teaches at the Nicodemus. Jesus testifies to the Samaritan woman, Sermon on the Mount, instructions for prayer. Jesus ministers in Galilee, the pool of Bathsheba, Jesus, Lord of the Sabbath. Jesus answers John's disciples. Jesus speaks many parables. Jesus heals the demoniac. Jesus heals the paraplegic. Jesus sends out his 12 apostles. John the Baptist beheaded. Jesus feeds the 5,000. The teaching on clean and unclean. Peter's confession of Christ. The transfiguration. Greatest and least in the kingdom. Jesus sends out the 72. Jesus teaches at the Feast of Tabernacles. The woman caught in adultery. Jesus affirms he is the Son of God. The shepherd and his flock. Jesus speaks more parables. The cleanliness of the 10. Jesus cleansed the 10 lepers. Jesus raises Lazarus. The final journey to Jerusalem. The triumphant entry in 30 AD. Closing ministry of Jerusalem. Thursday before the Passover. Jesus confronts his disciples. Jesus is the true vine. The promises of the Holy Spirit. Jesus insurrectity prayers. Jesus' betrayal, trial, and crucifixion. Jesus' resurrection. The ascension. Just wait. 30 AD. Yes. April 7th. Dating the Crucifixion by Colin J. Humphreys and Wagner. Colin Humphreys, The Mystery of the Last Supper, and Bardon Jesus, 4th edition. Also, I think it's the Unbelievers podcast, hosted by Don Dixon. He's excellently knowledgeable. There's other people who've done things on the date of Jesus' crucifixion. And other dates, there's April 6th. No, that's not what I did. 31 AD. And if you're wondering who thinks that, it's the same people, they're just giving other options. and April 3rd, 33 AD. And this, there's a lot of people behind this. The dating of the crucifixion, the same people. Then Mariner P.L. 1968, Sergio Pilate and the dating of the crucifixion. Evidence of astronomy and cosmology for the date of the crucifixion. 8. Benzler something in German. 1. Humphrey and Collins, The Mystery of the Last Supper. Last Supper was on a Wednesday, United Kingdom BBC. Okay. And of course, there's so many others. I don't remember what the video is, but I think Inspiring Philosophy and Mike Weiner have some pretty cool things that happened around here, and evidence that yes, it did happen. This is also a widely attested thing that Jesus was crucified, and they have a lot of evidence for Jesus' resurrection, how this fulfills prophecy, a whole lot of other stuff. But we should get moving. So, Saul's conversion, 34 AD. Testify and has evidence that yes, this did happen. So, Acts. And then they date the letter of James to 45 AD. James writes his letter. And this is between the events of Acts 12 verse 20 and Acts chapter 13. So, yeah. Then theologians, yeah, whatever, is written, both of them, 51 and 52, between the events of Acts 18 and events of Acts 19, in other words, Paul in Corinth and Paul in Ephesus. Corinthians, written, 1 Corinthians, written after Acts 19, and then Galatians, in Acts 20, Paul in Macedonia and Greece, then Romans is written, then 2 Corinthians, then the events of Acts 21 and 23, Acts 24, Acts 25, Acts 26, Acts 27, Acts. Then Paul preaches in Rome, then Ephesians is written, Philistines, Corinthians, Philemon, Timothy, 1 Peter, Titus, and also Testify has really good evidence that these books were written by Paul. But apparently also there are Christians who don't think they were written by Paul. But they still are Christians. So it's not necessarily you don't have to... I mean... I guess no one knows who wrote Hebrews. And therefore it's not on here, but it is. But, so, I guess, yeah, but, so, no, atheist is not a trumped card. That's kind of what I'm saying. But, Testify has some evidence that, yes, it was written by Paul. The 2 Timothy, where, if you don't know, it's Paul's final letter. It's very obvious that he's about to die. Wow, I've been talking for almost half an hour. Wow. Peter writes his second letter. Letter of Hebrews. It's written in 68. Jude writes his letter. John writes his first letter, then second letter, then third letter. And then in 59 AD, John's Revelation is written. Now, here's the thing. Inspiring Philosophy has done a video with Bart Ehrman, where he interviews Bart Ehrman of what he thinks about Revelations. If you don't know who Bart Ehrman is, he's a atheist scholar in the loose term. He's not really that good of a scholar. But, yeah. Inspiring Philosophy is not an atheist. let's see. Does it? Yeah, it's the latest date. So this is the latest date, 9:55. Latest for the book, writing of the book of Revelation. Also, there's probably people who are saying, yes, Peter wrote Peter. Well, that's the latest date. If you're like, oh no, it has to be no, that's the latest acceptable date. Yes, 9, which is after 70 AD, which is obviously event. A lot people say a lot of Revelation was talking about. Now, I'm no say I 100% agree with this timeline. No. Because, well, it has some weird features. Because Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, all that. But then it's like, with the book of Judges, it starts with Judge 17, idolatry. Then it goes Judge 18, Judge 19, Judges 20, Judges 21. Then Judges 1, Judges 2, Judges 3, Judges 3, chapter verse 12, Judges 3, verse 15, then Judges 4, Judges 5, Judges 6 and 8, Ruth in 1140 BC, Judges 9, Judges 9:22, Judges 50, Judges 10, then 1st and 2nd Samuel, 1 Samuel verse 1, Samuel verse 2, and then Judges 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So it's saying the first event in Judges is Judges 17. I don't know what you're thinking. I'm just providing this for you, your information. Maybe it helps you believe in, you can research. I'm giving you resources. Again, all dates are approximate. Sources. So where do they get this from? All dates are approximate. Timeline is based on traditional and accepted time frames and generally considered census of various sources, including Wellington's Guide to Bible Study, A Survey of Israel's History, Wood, The Mysterious Numbers of the Hebrews King, Thiele, ESV Study Bible, The Treasury of Scripture Knowledge, the International Standard Bible Encyclopedia, and Edston's Bible Dictionary. Apparently, Richard Volkent and Discovery Bible. Yes. Also helped in this somehow. This is my longest video I've ever made on YouTube. So yeah, go watch those other people. Go provide sources. Your own sources. Yeah. Oh yeah, you can. Oh, they have free downloads. Yeah, cool. So anyway, I guess that's it. Go watch my other stuff. This is going to take forever to upload. I better stop